Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. Welcome back to Pink and Main's channel or Facebook page, wherever you are joining from. I am so excited to see you. Tonight, we have finally reached another sneak peek week, and I have some very exciting sneak peeks to share with you tonight. We're going to play with 3 new products tonight. And as usual, if I can at the end, I will share an extra bonus sneak peek or two with you. I see lots of people checking in. Sherry, Maria, Barbara, a whole bunch of people just went in or popped up. Annette, Lori, Leslie, Mary, Bernice, thank you so much. Sherry, I'm not going to be opening the advent calendar until December because I don't want to spoil any of the surprises for anyone who also got it. So I have it here. I can show you how it comes, but we are not going to actively open it. So it comes like this. So you get the Pink and Main box. Thanks for purchasing our first advent calendar. No peeking. Open December 1st. And then if you do peek, you can see each of the items each day has a little number with a doily, and it's sealed so that you can be surprised. So what we're going to do, there are still a couple advent calendars available. If you want to check that out, you definitely can. But what we're going to do is once we get into December, we'll pick that day's packet and then something else like that I should have opened before that day. And we will use them in a card as like a surprise challenge. And we'll do that a couple times in December. So I can tell you that, but we're not going to sneak peek that. But I do have some really fun stuff to sneak peek with you tonight. And I saw Susan says she's already made 20 shaker cards for Christmas, and I love that. I am a big shaker card fan, but I can tell you the style of shaker that we're going to be trying out tonight is definitely something really different for me. I tried this out with my blog post card I made over the weekend that'll go up for tomorrow. And it turned out so cute that I had to immediately share it with you. So let me flip over to, there we go. So this is not new. This is the Fun Pastels, but I haven't used it yet. This is my first time breaking it out. So I have a piece, it's like super fun and crazy, but we're going to use this like watercolory side. And this is going to be our main backer panel from the Fun Pastels paper pad. And we're bringing in a tried and true favorite, the square layered scallops dies. We're going to be using this medium square to create our shaker window. We have that guy. Now we get to some newness. So this is a set of foilables called Blizzard. It comes with 2 different snowflake foilable patterns. You can see I have a little bit of a larger snowflake and a little bit of a smaller. So we're going to go for the larger snowflake today. We're going to use that. Hey, Angie, checking in from North Florida. Glad to see that. Barbara got her advent calendar yesterday and only peeked to see how nicely they were wrapped. That's good. Following all those directions from Michelle. Vicki checking in from Florida too. I love that. I see Connie, Patty, Leslie, Lori, oh, Annette from Montreal, and Leslie from British Columbia. I know you ladies have to be cold. Okay, this is the next sneak peek. So we're going to be playing with the Winter Joy stamp set and coordinating dies. These are so stinking cute. I love this. We're going to be using the little bear and the tree and the wishing you warmth and joy this winter. Of course, all of the little sentiments have coordinating dies, and I love that the smaller snowflakes, the dies have these tabs, so they're so much easier to tape down in place. I love that. So we get this sweet little fox, penguin, bear, seal, ice block, all of these beautiful snowflakes, and then that really cute snowy tree. So we're going to be using that. I have my sentiment stamped out on a scrap piece of the pattern paper. I have my 2 little images stamped out already. And then the star of the show is this. We have a new chunky glitter called Cracked Glass. And it is this like a beautiful, I'm guessing like mica flake. Look, I've already got dog hair in it too, of course. All right, if you see the dog hair, just act like you didn't. But it's this beautiful little squares, iridescent, super thin. It literally looks like cracked glass. It makes the most beautiful frost. And we're going to use it for a super fun shaker effect. I've used it like a bunch of times already. I also have been enjoying like adding glue to the edges of a card or a panel and like rolling it in it. So beautiful. Leslie, how do I order so you get credit for it? So the links that I have in the description here are just normal links. If you decide that you feel moved to use my affiliate links, you can go to any of my blog posts and jump onto Pink and Main from there. Or you can go to my website, which is listed in the description of wherever you're watching, which is KaitlinAnnaleeCards.com. And under my favorites, there's a link for Pink and Main, and you can jump on through there. If you decide to do that, I really appreciate it. But also, Pink and Main does help me out to do these lives. This is like a job technically with them. So if you want to just use the regular links in the description here, that is also very fine by me. But I appreciate you asking, Leslie. It's very nice of you. So yeah, that glitter is just so pretty. Oh, Melissa's checking in Nova Scotia. Ooh, and then Heather in Ontario. Yeah, there's no way. It's like in the 50s here, and I'm already cold and miserable, so I can't imagine. Okay, so the last thing that I have here, this is when I get new stamps and dies, I take the stamps out of their packaging and I place them in the same packaging as the die because the die is usually a little bit bigger. So this is the leftover packaging from this stamp set, and this is what we're going to be using today to make our shaker window panel. And then at the end, I'll also show you an extra sneak peek with my card for tomorrow's blog post. Angie, I'm not going to lie to you. It's still a little bit messy because it's so light. If you like get it on your hands and do like this, it definitely disperses into the air. But in general, I do find that it has been a little easier to control overall than the super fine glitter. So I will say that. It is not like I know like Tim Holtz has like a glitter that doesn't go airborne. This is not that. I just want to be super transparent because I know that there are people who go for glitter-free households because of that. So it is still a very fine glitter. We're going to start by foiling today. And to go with this really fun new, where did I put it? This really fun new foilable. Past me really did a number on this one for future me. What did I do with it? I have the silver tinsel foil here somewhere. Under there. It's not up there. Man, this is advanced even for me. How did I lose a whole sheet of we might have to improvise. I really don't see this whole sheet of foil. How did I manage that? Yeah, it's not back there. Not under there. Wow. Okay. Well, my intention was to use the silver tinsel foil, but we might have to pivot there. No. Guys, sometimes I'm really worried that I'm starting to actually lose it. How did I misplace a whole sheet of foil? Right, it's really not in here. Okay. We're gonna get a double sneak peek then. Is it under my stamp? No, because it's like a big sheet of foil. Like a whole, not a whole roll, but a pretty big sheet. At some point later tonight, I'll go walk somewhere and I'll see it and I'll feel extra, extra silly. Okay, well, that just means we get a double sneak peek because the first thing I grabbed that I love is this new. Did I touch the advent box? No. Oh, no, that's what I thought too. No, whatever I did was way more advanced than that. Okay, but this is a brand new foil that's this, like, I don't even know specifically what it's called yet, but it has like little, all these weird little shapes and looks very frosty and very holographic. And so we're just going to use that. It's meant to be. You get a bonus sneak peek. Yes, Angie, exactly. As soon as this card is over, I will like look to the side and I will find it. That's generally how those things work out for me. So I'm just trimming that down to 4.5. So it fits our panel easily. We're going to do this bigger one. Dawn, I'm so excited that you got your Advent box. I think that's going to be really fun. Like little mini challenge for myself. Obviously, you guys don't have to do that style challenge with me, but anybody who wants to, you definitely can. Sorry. So I'm putting my foilable in pretty side up. We're putting our foil on top, also pretty side up in our carrier sheet. And we're going to let the mini mink pick that up. I have it set to the number 3 setting. And once it goes through, we're going to set it to the side and let it cool down completely, because if you rush it, sometimes you get bubbles. Hey, Becky, thanks for checking in. Vicky, you lose stuff all the time too. Makes me feel much better. I bet when you're doing it, you don't have a bunch of people watching you live, or maybe you do. If you do, let me know because I will follow you. Okay, so that is our foilable. We unplug this link, let that cool down. And we will get our images colored back because then we can get the rest of all of this ready to go. There you go. All right, so we're gonna go. So Mary, it is kind of like the shattered blue, but a smaller size. I have the shattered here too, because I was thinking about using the shattered blue, but I'll show you the comparison of like the shatter. So it's kind of like the same idea, but you can see it's like a different font, right? Like this is super thick and chunky, and this is like the same idea, but just like teeny tiny little shatters. So I hope seeing them side by side helps. And you can see this one definitely still leans like silver, right? Like without the holographic, it's definitely silver, where this is like very much blue. So just like a smaller detailed version of that shatter almost. Sarah, yes, 100%, Sarah. I do forget to do that a lot. Sarah said, I'm just going to put her comment up. If you dust off your foil, like the back of your foil, and you dust off your foilable before you send it through, it also ensures that you're not getting all of those little dots. So definitely a good reminder. Thank you for that, Sarah. This is definitely cooled off enough now. So I'm going to peel and reveal that. And of course, we get the beautiful negative. And this one's going to be really pretty on like a black. The black toner sheet, right? Because then you'll be able to see all of those snowflakes, or like even like a color. And then for now, for today, we have the positive, and you can see how fun and like glittery all of that teeny tiny little detail catches in those snowflakes. So that is going to be so fun. I love that. Hey, Kendra, I'm glad you could stop by. All right, so we set that over there, that over there. That's extra. All right, but now for real, we're going to get our coloring taken care of. So I am going to go for a polar bear. We're going to use some cool gray markers. We're going to start with some C5. We're going to add a little shading to the bottom of the ears and then all around the face. Normally with my polar bears, I like to go warm gray, but with the silver kind of vibes of this foil and everything, I just thought cool gray would be a nice change. So I'm adding shading to the back, his back, the bottom of his arms, kind of under that leg and on the back of the legs. And I'm going to make the tummy a little bit lighter than everything else. So then we can go in with C3, right, Angie? Literally, happy accidents for the win. That foil turned out so pretty. The one I was going to use, the silver tinsel, is what I have linked. And that's also really cool because it has tiny little like random stripes all through it. So it gives that tinsely texture, which I definitely do really love. This is going to end up being definitely a little more of a gray bear than a polar bear, I think. It's a lot more gray than I was anticipating using. Maybe we can lighten him up a little bit. So I'm going to go around with my C1 and kind of do tiny little circles to kind of scrub away at some of that color. And I'm going to leave that center section still light. And now we can add some shading to that side of his little tummy. A little gray bear is still cute though. It's not like my recipient's going to know. And then we'll go C0 in the center of the face. And belly. Yeah, that's still cute. I still like it. If you want to go polar bear, I would now, in hindsight, suggest skipping the C5 and just go C3, C1, and like a colorless blender and leave a little more white space through the center. I want my bear to have some purple accents. And I was trying to pick some purples. I think my B12 died. Otherwise, this would be very easy. But I think I'm going to go B9. Actually, really, there's not a lot of space. Maybe we'll just do the medium and the light. Let's go B17. So we'll add some shading on either side of the little hat and then kind of over the top. Add some shading coming in from either side on the scarf. And then from the neck, we'll just go full matching. So we'll do then the bottom and the back of the boots. And then my light shade is going to be B15. And I really wanted to incorporate the 15 when I was picking out my colors, because this is what's going to tie in and match really nicely to that pattern paper. That kind of like pinky purple right in between. I just realized I missed a little spot on the top of the ears here. Just like that. And then let's give some pinky cheeks. Let's see if R21 is enough. All right, so there's my little bear. So cute. And you can see up against that pattern paper how beautiful those two V markers work with that, the kind of purple watercolor tones that are in there. And then for the tree, I want to stick with like a little bit of a whimsical feeling, but I mean, it's still a tree, right? It just has some snow on it, but it is still a tree. So I'm going to go in with some BG markers. They're going to have enough of that kind of tealy tone that they're going to not fight against that cool toned backdrop. If we went something really warm, like really yellowy, like a lime green, it would clash a lot because of how soft and kind of cool toned that background is. So I'm going to just add shading kind of on the outside of the tree. So we have like snow right at the top, that middle band, and then that bottom band. That was BG99 first, and we're going to blend that out with some BG96. Kind of pull that color around. And then BG93 for my highlight. You could make this also much more textured if you wanted, but because there's not a lot of texture drawn into the stamp, I'm going to leave it a little softer and more cartoony. We're not going to worry about hyper realism with this one. With all the needle, pine needle texture. And these are a little smaller, so we can do both sections at once. Again with the 96 to blend it out. When in doubt, you can overlap your colors completely. That'll help with a nicer transition. Okay. And then BG 93. Oh, Sarah, I'm so glad. Yeah, Dawn, you too. I'm glad you guys enjoy watching me color. I love watching other people color. So it makes my heart happy that I can do that for you guys. Right, and we're going to take those same cool gray markers, just the 3 and the 1 this time, to shade in this snow. So I'm going to keep my C3 very minimal. I'm almost treating this like it's icing, like we're adding a shadow to the drips. So I'm just kind of creating little soft U shapes. Here you can see it. Those little kind of very loose U's, just in like the dips where it's rounded and dropping lower. And then we'll just blend that out with the C1. And by leaving all that actual plain white space of the paper, that's what I was saying before, like the polar bear would look much more like a polar bear if I had left some actual white space. I want to again stick with kind of cool tones. So for the stump, I'm going to go in with some E74, and we're just going to do one color. Just to shade that, but it's a nice kind of taupey brown. It has a little like hint of purple in it. Oh, and you know what else we should do? We should add some sparkle to this too. So let me cut it out and then we'll add some sparkle. And then while that dries, we can set up the rest of our shaker card. Melissa, 100%. This has been learning to color and watching other people color has been a huge stress reliever for me. Barbara, all of these items that I'm showing you as sneak peeks will be available on Friday at pinkandmain.com. We have a new monthly release out the third Friday of every month. So the blog has, the Pink and Main blog, which is linked in the description, has lots of sneak peeks and inspirations all this week from all of the design team. And this month, Pink and Main is going to be hosting an Instagram hop around the release too. I'll have some more information for you guys on that on Thursday, but the hop will go up on Friday with the release. It's something a little bit different that they're trying out, which I think is really exciting. It's fun to try new things sometimes. Melissa, right? I love the BGs to kind of change up the tone with trees. Like I feel like the G29 is called Pine Tree Green, which I only know because it's literally right here in front of me. I don't have them memorized. But I think that it's just fun to change it up to make it fit what you need. You know what I need to do while we're doing this is cut out this sentiment. See if I can figure out which one it is. Oop. Nope. It's definitely one of these double guys. Not. Oh, I think that's it. Yay! Wishing warmth and joy this winter. I love these tiny little sentiments too. Like I love a bold sentiment that can take up the whole card, but I think it's nice that with Pink and Main, you get a mix. Like some really tiny ones, some really big ones, some stamp sets that are just, or die sets that are just sentiments. It's so fun. Okay. There's our tiny sentiments. Let me zoom us back out. We're going to add some of our cracked glass glitter to our tree snow so it can dry for a couple minutes. I have my, oh, you know what we'll do to keep it even cleaner? It's not in the links because I wasn't planning on using it, but we're going to use the Quickie glue pen. This is in the link. It is on Pink and Main's website. It is available. The link to it, if you need a more direct link and you can't find it on the website under the tools, we did link to it last week, so you can go back to last week's live and check it out. Oh, Connie, I'm so excited that you got to go to the store. the Pink and Main store. I hope that was fun. And you know what I'm doing that I shouldn't? I'm adding the glue right on top of my Copic marker. But I don't always love that because especially with this chunkier glue, it can kind of cover up your marker a little bit. They're pretty kind of see-through, so it shouldn't be too bad. You can see it is a very chunky glitter. Melissa, right? I love that the Pink and Main dies are already pre-cut. It's seriously a game changer. And that they're sticky on the paper because then I don't have to worry about magnets. So let's see if you guys can see. There is that super chunky, just like frosty, icy glitter. In person, you definitely get more of that iridescent color. I'm sure. Let's see if I can hold it up this way if you guys. Not really. Maybe at the end. Yeah, I think you can see it here in that bigger batch, but you definitely get that full like iridescent pink, yellow, blue, little like rainbow holographic kind of effect. Okay. Put that back in for now. Set that to the side to dry, and we can start assembling our shaker. So what I'm going to do, this is our backer panel. This is our on top panel. And I want to trim this down just a little bit because I think it just takes, I still want to see a little bit of that fun background. So it's already 4. We're just going to take it 1/4 of an inch down. We're going to take it to 3 3/4 by 5. So that's going to sit just like that. And then we're going to take our square and we can hold this kind of up to see size-wise, like how high I want this to be. We're going to say like there. And I'm also going to bring in my my little T ruler. And I like to kind of check that this is like, that's at 1.5. That's at 1.5. So it's centered right now. And I'm going to place my tape on the inside just in case it messes up my foil at all, which it probably won't, but just in case, I want to make sure that I'm messing up the inside section that we're going to be removing and that the outside of my panel is nice and fresh and beautiful. So we're going to run it through. The cool thing is if the tape doesn't mess anything up, we now have a fun stitched square panel that we can use on something else. Yeah, see, that didn't affect my foil at all, which is ideal. Yeah, and now I have a little stitched, there you go, a little stitched square that I can use on something else down the road. So we'll save that. Now we have our little window. And to create my shaker element, we're going to make like a flat shaker pocket almost to kind of insert behind that window. Instead, I didn't want to use so much of my cracked glass to fill up a well. And I didn't want the cracked glass to get stuck to the foam on the sides of my well for a shaker, because I feel like that's would be so easy to do. Like it would be so natural for that to happen. And I didn't want that. So it's just like so soft and fluffy that the glitter. So what I'm going to do is I want to make a pocket. I'm going to cut this a tiny bit bigger. I don't think that's what I want to do. We'll make it a tiny bit smaller. Yeah. So you can see I have it just a little bit smaller on each side. We're going to leave one of these sealed edges sealed for ourselves. And I'm going to trim the bottom. So now I have, right, it's like stuck together still on the side. I have these two flaps, and we're going to use this to make kind of like a pocket shaker, like a little flat pocket. I'm going to use some double-sided tape for this. You could use a tape runner if you prefer. Of course. I'm not seeing, of course, the double-sided tape I'm looking for. So we're going to use red line tape, which is also fine. You just want some good, sturdy, double-sided tape. Liquid glue would take forever to dry. So that's not the vibe I'm going for this. And you don't have to get it right up against the edge, but you want it closer to the edge than not. Okay. And then we can peel this up. And press it down. And honestly, if it's like a little imperfect, it's really okay, because if it was super sealed and tight and completely flat, you're going to have a harder time like using it. The filler is going to have a harder time moving around. So now I'm going to come in across the bottom. And peel up that backing tape. Lay that down. So now I have a little pocket, right? It's all sealed. I'm going to take my cracked glass, and we're going to just pour a little bit in. I want to kind of just shimmy it around a little bit. I think that's just like a little bit too much. Here we go. All right. And for this side, I'm going to try to lay down that last strip. If it's not working, you can always fold this over. That's what I did on my like practice one that I did for the blog the first time I tried this. And it worked, but I didn't love it. It didn't feel super secure to me. So I'm going to try to kind of just wedge this guy. We'll just kind of hold it to the side, get it trimmed, and then I can just kind of like lay this down inside that pocket. Sorry, I know this isn't the easiest thing to see because I'm working on a clear surface. But you can see, right, that red is kind of just like sandwiched right in there. Get that laid down, and then peel that up. We're left with our adhesive. Perfect. So now I have this little sealed shaker baggie, basically. And that's what is going to be our panel. inside. So you can use the same exact tape. I'm going to use tape runner just because it's so much faster. Me trying to peel that backing tape off with my knee. So we're going to lay that all the way around. And then we're going to, this side is a little more flat. We're going to pop that into our window. Right? And so now we have this still very contained, nice little shaker element without having to do that giant well and use a ton of our product. So to help this really have room to shake, I am going to take a little bit of foam tape and still go around the edges. But like I said before, I'm not going to have to worry about losing all of my chunky glitter when it gets like stuck on the edges. I hate that. I don't know. I know people say you can use the you can use anti-static powder tools and it helps, but it doesn't solve the problem completely. For me, it just doesn't, especially with this kind of like really floaty glitter. I just know that it would get stuck. I'm going to remove my backing paper. And we're going to lay that down just like that. I also feel more confident shipping this to somebody, knowing that it's not going to like explode all over their house. Right, so now we have this fun shaker. Love that. And then to finish it off, we're just going to add all of our little critter babies. So I am going to add my tree flat. We'll pop up our bear. And I want this kind of overlapping that window. I just think that's so cute. Such a fun way to kind of bring everything together. And we're going to pop up a little bear. Have him kind of making a little snowy trek. And then I'm going to use some paper runner again, just for my sentiment, because trying to glue this to the plastic is not going to be enjoyable. We're going to get that centered-ish, give it a good squish right on that window. And there is our fun, mostly mess-free little shaker. So cute. Obviously, you could switch this and add anything you want. For example, here's your extra bonus sneak peek. This is my blog post card with one of the other stamp sets that we will color up on Thursday, right? But the same idea, still with that little shakety window in there. But like completely, I mean, they're the same, but still very different. So I just thought that was really fun. I hadn't tried this kind of shaker window. And even this one with kind of the wrinkles in it, I like because it feels more icicle-y almost to me. But yeah, just something different to try, something fun. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let me get something else to share with you. Some other sneak peek. Let me get the box. I try to keep all my new stuff in one box, so it's easier for me to grab it for you. All right. I will tell you that this is not the only new chunky glitter. This is one of 3 new chunky glitters. And I'll show you the stamp set that we aren't going to be using on Thursday. How about that? So one of the other 3 chunky glitters is called Tinsel Town. And look at that. How pretty and fun is this one? So that same iridescent feeling, but you're getting it in the tiny little tinsel strips. Absolutely love it. So beautiful. Super fluffy and soft. So we get that. And then there's one other one. And then this is a stamp set that we aren't going to be using on Thursday. So this is from Mommy Lay and Pink and Maine. This is the Polar Friends. And it just has these absolutely, like, these guys are in a snowball fight. There's like the moon and the stars. There's the little smiley face. So you can make little smiley moon and stars and clouds. You've got the little bear and penguin best friends. These guys that are hanging out. Thoughts of you warm my heart. Absolutely beautiful. So I love that. Sorry, so Dawn had a question about the tinsel. It's not with flock. It's just, that's how like soft and fluffy the actual glitters are. When they're sideways and you're not seeing that iridescence, it just looks white and fluffy, but it's really all that glitter. Isn't that crazy? Like it looks so fluffy. So yeah, so those are your extra bonus sneak peeks, and we'll go through everything again on Thursday. I'll show you some more. And yeah, I hope that that was fun and inspiring. Like I said, we'll be back on Thursday. And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me. I really had fun with this one. I love this release. These little winter critters are so fun. And I don't know about you, I enjoy making a holiday card, but I love products that will get me through not only Christmas, but also the rest of January and February. I love a winter card. So Dawn said, it's yummy, but I'm not eating art supplies. Sometimes I really feel like that. I hear that in my soul too, Dawn. So yeah, we will be back here Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Facebook. So make sure that you come and hang out. I'm excited to see you then. I appreciate all of your support. Make sure that you are following Pink and Maine on Instagram if you aren't already, because like I said, there's going to be a fun hop this weekend, Friday into Saturday, and I'll have more details on that for you on Thursday as well. But yeah, until Thursday, guys, I hope you have a great day tomorrow and happy crafting. Have a good night.